guys, welcome back to Ashard Books. So today I'm going to do my June part 2 wrap up. So I am still in a different location, so that is why the different background still. But I read 5 books for the second half of June, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about them because there were some really good reads this month. Also, before I get started, I just wanted to mention that I just hit 1,000 subscribers. Yay! I'm so excited, so excited. I just wanted to say thank you to anyone who subscribed or watched or liked or commented. It means a lot, and especially those of you who comment like pretty regularly. It always makes my day whenever I see the comments and get to talk to you guys. Also, I really want to do a giveaway in the coming weeks just to kind of say thank you, so be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna do a separate short little video where you guys can enter, but probably not for a couple weeks. I want to wait till I get home and can kind of like organize everything, but just wanted to mention that. Thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for the giveaway. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. This is the book I mentioned at the end of my last video, and this one was really adorable. I gave this one 4 stars, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 4 and not 5. So this one was adorable though, so cute. And this book follows our main character, Georgie Castle, who is the quirkiest, most just unique character. She works as a birthday party clown, and she's kind of just that person in her family that is the eternal little sister. Everyone kind of, she feels, and it's kind of true, just always thinks of her as the young sister, the child, and doesn't really give her any credit for anything she does. And the other main character is Travis, which is her brother's best friend from his childhood. She's always had a crush on him, and he used to play for the Major League Baseball, but recently got hurt and had to kind of give up his dream, which means he's back in town with a giant chip on his shoulder and is kind of having to figure out his life. So basically, this book has a kind of like fake relationship trope, which I really enjoy. The two of them kind of form a friendship / relationship to kind of benefit both of them in a way. And this was just, it really did read a lot like a romantic comedy, like a movie. Especially if you read that ending scene, like, wow, swoony. This was really cute. It definitely did have a little bit of that storyline of like a makeover for Georgie, but to me, she wanted the makeover. It was her pursuing it, not someone kind of like shoving it on her. So it didn't really bother me like it sometimes would. But yeah, highly recommend it. Oh, by the way, the Fixer Up part comes because her family owns like a renovation home company, so that's where the Fixer Up part comes from. But yeah, definitely cute, highly recommend. The second book I read was The Unfunny Mooners by Christina Lauren. This book has been everywhere, and I really do think it deserves the hype though. This one follows our 2 main characters, Olive and Ethan, and they pretty much hate each other. Definitely a hate to love trope. So basically the story starts off where they're at her sister's wedding, and Ethan and Olive, who is the groom's brother, are the only 2 people who don't get sick at the seafood buffet because they don't eat it. So they are kind of tasked with going on the honeymoon that her sister won in this like raffle. So they hate each other, they despise each other, but they want a free like 10-day honeymoon to Hawaii. So they take it. And hilarity ensues. Like the 2 of them have to kind of pretend to be together in order to like get this free honeymoon. It's hilarious, like you will laugh out loud. I loved Olive, she was so relatable, and Ethan, and I like the fact that the reason they kind of like hate each other was kind of explained in a really way that made sense, but it was a lot of kind of miscommunication, but miscommunication that actually made sense, which sometimes doesn't happen in books. It's definitely a bit of a slow burn, you know, it takes them a while to figure out, you know, that line between love and hate, but it was just really funny. Olive too, I like that they portrayed her as a heroine, and she has a lot of strengths and she's a great person, but her life was not perfect, and I really liked that. Neither one of their lives were perfect, and she was a very smart person, but success didn't always come easy to her, and she had a lot of like job problems, and it was kind of refreshing to see a character that was kind of more like everyone else. Like, her life wasn't perfect, she did not have everything together, but she still kind of got the guy. So really cute, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely, if you're going on a beach vacation or a pool or anything, definitely pick this up. The next one I read was The Rail Runaway by Lindsay Emery. This is a royal romance, which we all know I love. I've been meaning to pick this one up for a while, and this was really cute as well. If you're a royal romance fan, definitely go try this one out. I hadn't read anything by Lindsay Emery before. I'm not sure if this is her first book or not, but regardless, it was really cute. So this follows our princess, which her name's Theodora, but she goes by Thea. And at the beginning of the book, she's left at the altar. So, as you can imagine, for a princess to be left at the altar, it's not good. And she kind of has to go away into, like, not hiding, but like basically out of the limelight for a while. And she comes back and she kind of just wants to escape the pressures. So she goes to this like pub down the street. By the way, this takes place in like a made-up country, which I cannot think of the name of, but kind of think of like Genovia if you're a Princess Diaries fan. At this pub, she meets Nick, who she doesn't know who he is at first, but it turns out he has a lot of secrets, and he kind of blackmails her into getting information about her fiance that jilted her at the altar. Turns out there's a lot more going on than kind of what meets the eye. And it's the two of them having to kind of like work together to kind of figure it out. I like this because it was different, because it had a lot of kind of like mystery aspects to it. These two are kind of begrudgingly having to work together. Nick has a lot of secrets that kind of get exposed as they kind of are forced together. And overall, it was just really cute. And I think it was different because it did have that mystery aspect of us trying to figure it out at the same time. So I gave this one 4 stars. Like I said, if you already know you like royal romance and you like a little bit of mystery thrown in, definitely try this one out. The next book is The Hostage by Susan Wiggs, which is book 1 in the Chicago Fire trilogy. And I picked this one up because Sarah from Steeped in Books talked about it a couple times on her channel, and she really sold it, and I was really dying to pick it up. So first off, I love that this book takes place in the United States rather than in Europe, or especially like in England. I just think it's different. I mean, I love a good Regency romance in England, but sometimes it's nice to have a little change. This whole series revolves around a group of friends, and it starts off the night of the Great Chicago Fire. And basically this group of friends is kind of like torn apart through kind of the chaos of the fire, and it's about each of their stories. So I'm sure the rest of the series is going to follow like a different girl. But this one is the first one, and it follows Deborah Sinclair, who is like this really big heiress. Her father is very wealthy, but he's like a self-made man, which at that time was kind of not nearly as accepted as someone who came from old money. So for him, he has the money, he has a lot of wealth, but he wants like his name to be, you know, looked on with a lot of like, I don't know, revere or something. So he wants her to marry a very certain person, kind of get his name up there with the Vanderbilts. At the beginning of the book, something happens to Deborah, but we're not sure what, and she is very traumatized from this. So she's very distraught about something. Then our main male character, our hero, comes in. His name is Tom Silver, and he actually comes the night of the fire without kind of knowing it's going to be the fire, to seek revenge on Deborah's father because of something he did in a bad business deal that caused a lot of people to lose their lives. So he wants to kill him. So all this kind of happens at once, and basically through a series of events, Tom takes Deborah hostage, basically for ransom. Ends up, he's taking her back to this little tiny village, which from what is, I think it's up somewhere near the Great Lakes. It's a very tiny, very cold, very frozen, like at the time, not civilized area. And he has like a little tiny, like trading post. It's a very tiny village. Takes her hostage there, and it's basically their story of kind of coming together. I was a little wary at first, just because when you say the word hostage, you know, I didn't want to have like a Stockholm syndrome here, but it's a very slow burn, and you kind of find out a lot of information about Tom and about Deborah and what's going on. The writing in this was super descriptive and very, it really made you know exactly what you're seeing. It made you kind of imagine exactly what this like place looked like, and you're kind of struggling along with Deborah as she's figuring out what the heck's going on. Obviously, she's a very privileged, very much a lady who's never had to do anything. I mean, at one point she hasn't even tied her own shoe just because, you know, there it goes. And then you have Tom, who's very rough. He's like a rugged kind of outdoorsman, and obviously opposites attract. So I think we see where this is going. Did want to mention there are definitely a couple of trigger warnings that have to do with Deborah and her past. So just if that's something you're sensitive with, be warned. I know a couple of the Goodreads reviews I looked at did mention that, so just kind of maybe take a peek there if that's something that you're worried about. But overall, this was just really addictive, very descriptive, and I really liked the story. So I gave this one, I think I gave it 4 out of 5. It was really good. I definitely want to continue, and I liked Susan Wigg's writing. And the last one I'm going to talk about is The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. I borrowed this one from a friend who had it from the library, so thank you, Amanda, for letting me borrow this. It was so cute. Like, that is the best word for this book. It was so cute. So basically, this book is about two people sharing a flat, kind of what it says. And it starts off, our two main characters, Tiffy and Leon, they both need like money. Well, Leon needs money and Tiffy needs a place to stay for really cheap. She had a really bad relationship happening and she needs a place desperately in London. Leon needs money fast. So they decide to share a flat. And I don't mean like share a flat like each person has a bedroom. Like, Leon works nights and he won't be there on the weekends. And Tiffy works days. So they are both going to be in the same bed but never meet, supposedly, and literally have the same like room. I think we can all see that there's going to be some problems in this, but it's really cute. The two main characters start kind of communicating through sticky notes and then kind of slowly in like text messages and all that. But don't worry, they do meet eventually, of course. And I just love them. Like, there's so much going on with both of their backgrounds. I will say this book definitely covered some kind of harder issues than I kind of thought it would. But I kind of liked that. I liked the way the author handled some of those harder issues, especially with Tiffy and her past relationship. That was definitely like manipulative and kind of abusive in a way. But I really loved it. Leon was the sweetest person. I want a Leon. He has a lot of going on with his family, and it was just, if you want a contemporary romance that covers the gambit, the cuteness, the emotional ties, like everything, definitely pick up The Flatshare. It was a big surprise because, I don't know, I just didn't know what to expect, and it was perfection. 5 out of 5 stars. It was good. Alright guys, so those are all the books I read for the month of June. Let me know what you guys are reading. I'd love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!